What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games, and I have some tips and tricks that are going to help make your first adventure in Pokemon Legends ZA a great one. Of course, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and support my work by becoming a channel member. And let's dive in. Now, my first tip for Legends ZA is I actually recommend getting experience by battling Pokemon by knocking them out first, and then catching them. As you can see here, we have caught the Pokemon and got experience from it, and when we knocked it out, we got even more experience. So you can essentially double dip if you're trying to farm experience on your team's Pokemon, and the game has experience share. Of course, if you do a Pokemon battle, the Pokemon that is battling the other Pokemon will get more experience for doing so, but keep that in mind if you're trying to catch some new Pokemon, raise everyone up to the same level. You want to do something like that. Now, don't forget that you do have experience candy. So if you want to battle Pokemon, you want to quickly level up Pokemon to a certain level, pop a candy on your Pokemon, get some levels, and make sure that they are ready for battling, because the game will ramp up in levels rather quickly. And this is also another great way to get your Pokemon leveled up and ready to evolve. And you can only evolve in the menus in this game. So don't forget, if you want to evolve your Pokemon, you just go to your main menu, go to them and click on evolve, and you'll get this really cool evolution scene here. And some moves are locked behind evolutions, so it's always recommended to do these evolutions, and it'll help you complete your Mable Pokedex. Now, another great way to earn experience is to interact with breakables in the environment. If you use an attacking move on these Mega Shards, as an example, which are all over the city, you will get some Pokemon experience, you'll get Mega Shards, and sometimes you'll even get items as well while you're doing it. Pokemon battling tips: when you are in the ZA Royale, you do want to pick up these cards, sneak up and start a battle using a water type move. So things like that will give you more points, but it'll also give you more money as well. So you definitely want to do this if you can sneak up. Unfortunately, the trainers have really great vision, so you may have to wait it out like I just did there. He turned around, and you sneak attack the opponent's Pokemon, not the trainer itself. But when you do get that advantage, it's an automatic crit, and you do tons of damage, and it puts you in a huge position. So we're going to get some bonus money from that. And the trainers are going to be at different levels throughout this as well. Some of them are going to be lower ranked than you. Some are going to be higher ranked than you. So you just got to watch out. But you can see we got an additional 400 points from this. We got even more money, and the more points we get, the more money we get at the end of the night. Also, don't forget, even if you're in the ZA Royale, you can just fast travel to a Pokemon Center and just heal up immediately. So if you don't want to waste any of your precious items, your whole team's weak or dying, just fast travel to a Pokemon Center once you're done, run away from a fight, and heal up for free, and then you can go back to the ZA Royale or the Wildarea, whatever you were doing that caused you to get so weak in general. Just like in Legends Arceus, you're going to want to run around the city and be collecting every little item. Red balls are going to be good. And you can actually just walk over the gold sparkling things to pick them up. You don't have to hit A to get those, but always be picking up those items, because this is how I was able to attain different evolutionary stones, like a Fire Stone, Water Stone, Thunder Stone, pretty early on without ever having to buy them, and even some really good Pokeballs like early game Ultra Balls and things like that. So always just be running around collecting, and while you're doing the collecting, you may see some wild Pokemon, because wild Pokemon aren't just isolated to the wild zones. They can be spawning in alleyways, in trees. So always be on the lookout for a wild Pokemon, because you never know when you might just run into a Pokemon battle, or maybe even a random shiny. Besides red and gold items in the overworld, you want to make sure you pick up these purple items. Now, they usually require some sort of platforming. You got to climb up a bunch of construction and get them, but they are absolutely worth it. They are colorful screws, and you can trade these in for the Cannary plushes. Now, where do you actually trade these in? I marked on the map right here, just right about Avert Sector 7 on Southern Boulevard. There is a construction man. You want to trade these in, because they're going to give you valuable items that are going to make the game a lot easier. So you can get a red plush that increases the experience your Pokemon get. You can get a gold plush that increases the money you get. You get a pink plush that increases the Mega Crystals you get. A green plush that makes it so you have more HP so you don't black out. And a blue plush that makes it so you have a higher catch rate. So all these are very important. I have 14 of these, and the higher level these plushes are, the more they cost. So we already have the level 1 experience one. So if we want to get the level 2 one, it's going to cost 5. So we can get one of these. And then we can see the level 3 one is going to be costing a little bit more than that. It's going to be costing 8. Whenever you see an NPC in the field that has yellow text, make sure to talk to them because they'll usually just give you something for free. Either as a TM, an item, a Pokeball. Now, to get rare Pokeballs, you can actually buy them at the Pokeball Boutique. There's one in Ruse Sector 3. And in this shop, there's a bunch of great balls like Heal Balls, Net Balls, Nest Balls, Dive Balls, Dust Ball, Timer Ball, Quick Ball, Repeat Ball, Lux Ball, and Premier Balls. Now, Quick Balls do work a little bit differently in this game. You need to use these when a Pokemon is not noticing you. So this is a sneak attack ball to get the increased catch bonus. So keep that in mind. This is definitely the best way to catch your rare Pokemon, maybe like a Riolu or an Eevee that, you know, they only spawn once or twice during the day, and then it takes a while for them to spawn again. Now, if you're looking to buy some evolutionary stones or even fossil Pokemon, you can go to the Stone Emporium, which is on the southern end of the map over here. To go into the store, you'll just be able to buy Fire Stones, Thunder Stones, Water Stone, Leaf Stones. There's no Ice Stones or Shiny Stones or Dust Stones in here yet. This might get updated later in the game, but currently about in the mid-game has not been updated yet. You can get the Jaw, Sail, and Old Amber fossils here as well. And then you can also buy some Mega Stones. You get Gengarite, Charizardite, Steelixite. Some of the more popular megas are here, but for a very hefty price, $100,000 for these Charizard ones. So very expensive, but well worth it. Not the only place you can get Mega Stones in the game, but it's, you know, the only place to get those particular Mega Stones. If you want to get some of the other Mega Stones later in the story, you will be able to go to Quasicor. And in Quasicor, you'll be able to buy a couple more Mega Stones here as well. I do want to mention that the game is constantly auto-saving, and there is no way to turn off auto-save. Now, what makes the game auto-save? Pretty much when you are catching a Pokemon, the game will pop an auto-save. So every time you catch, the game will be saving, as you see in the top right. It also saves after important parts of like the main quest, side quests as well, parts you complete. So it's not horrible, but it can make shiny hunting a little bit more annoying since the game is constantly saving, and it may save over progress you didn't want to save. Make sure to be exploring the rooftops when you get a chance, because not only can you find a lot of items in the rooftops, you can also find a lot of Pokemon that only spawn up on rooftops, which is really cool. And yes, Pokemon that spawn in can be shiny too up here. As you can see, we just went up and we found some Pidgeotos and an Alpha Pidgeot, so there is danger and threats on top of these roofs, and sometimes you just don't want to handle any of that. Also, keep in mind that rooftops are the only way to access certain areas of the map. As you can see here, there's a little part of this block that I wouldn't be able to access from the ground, but I can actually fall down here and look at that. I can actually catch a decently high level Abra right down here. There was actually 2 of them, already caught one, but you can sneak up on this guy. And we got a level 19 Abra. Let's just throw a great ball at it. See if we get it. We don't get it. Hit it with a wing attack. Throw another Pokeball. And let's see if we can catch this cool Abra. And now we can get a nice little Kadabra for the team. Now, as I mentioned before, some Pokemon will only spawn on rooftops. And we can get a Cleffa pretty early if you really want to get a Clefable on your team. We can catch this Cleffa. But also, it gives you a nice view of some other Pokemon. We got the elemental monkeys just chilling over on this roof, so we can just try to figure out how to get over there. And the rooftops really do have a lot of Pokemon, so just because it's not in a wild zone doesn't mean you shouldn't be exploring. Plus, there's a lot of exclusive items that you can only get up over here, whether it could be TMs, Pokemon in different forms. Like, you can get the different Flabibi flowers up on the roofs, and that's really important for a certain side quest. And you can even get some Pokemon earlier. Like, you could go to the rooftops, catch a Bellsprout earlier than normal. You can get a Spritzy, which you can see right over here, which is only available on the roofs. And a couple other fairy types are like that too. So just keep that in mind while you are playing Legends ZA. While you're playing through Legends ZA, I'm going to recommend that you constantly are catching different species of Pokemon, different types, and evolving. The reason why is you want to complete Mable's research, which is how you're going to get some of the best TMs in the game that's going to diversify your team. As you can see, we just unlocked level 17 and we just got Fire Punch. Our next one is going to be Bulldoze. But some of the early game unlocks are amazing. You get the Elemental Punches, you get Size Shock, you get Shadow Claw. So a lot of really good things. And if you do hit level 50, you do unlock the Shiny Charm. Now, you may be thinking, oh, we need to complete literally every little thing. Well, you have a lot of requests you need to be completing. So one is like filling out your Pokedex. I only got 46 out of 50 at this point. But some of these are like, okay, catch 50 normal types, catch 15 fire types. And these go on and on and on and on and on for all the catching of different types. And then you get some of just evolving your Pokemon. So it's just always good. Keep a couple Pokemon in your party. Get them, get that passive experience, evolve them. And of course, you're going to be evolving things naturally as well. Evolve Pokemon with items. Evolve with a link cable. 2,000 points is a lot. So not everything is going to be equal. Some of them are easy though. Go to a cafe and just sit down there, win Pokemon battles, get Mega Crystals. So a lot of these are super easy. And you can see I've already completed a lot of these just by playing the game in the first 5 hours. Now, if you're trying to complete the wild areas, which I will recommend you try to 100% the wild zones, as you will get a lot of points for your Mable Dex. Don't forget to come here during the day and nighttime. So during the daytime in the story, when you first get here, you will not be able to catch these Staryus. They just won't spawn. However, when you do come back at night, you can start catching some Staryus. Of course, once you unlocked alphas in the game, alphas will start spawning throughout the zone, and different Pokemon will spawn whether it's day or night. But you want to get an early game Staryu, just run in here, catch a Staryu, get that 100% complete. Not the only zone that does that, but it is a very cool thing you can do. Now, Pokemon battling when it's about to switch from day to night or night to day is very interesting. As you can see there, I was attacking that Alpha Badoo, and I did some damage to it. Well, if that was a night-only spawn, that Pokemon will not show up during the day and essentially resets the entire world. So I would recommend that you don't fight things right at the very end of the day or end of the morning or night, just because that Alpha Badoo is gone. And that means if it was a shiny, that shiny would be gone for good as well. So keep that in mind. Also, if the Pokemon is still there, if it's a permanent spawn, then that Pokemon will come back with full HP. That you want to be wary of the timer. And you can tell the time on the map on the top left corner here. It's a circle. So when it gets close to touching the top of the circle again, that's how you know we're about to hit day or nighttime again. If you want to switch between day and night at a rapid pace, just go to one of the many park benches you can find in the game. Now, if someone's already sitting on the bench like these guys are, you can't use it. But if it's just an empty bench, you can sit on the park bench and you can hang out your Pokemon, or you can kill some time. Now, there actually is a Mable quest to hang out with your Pokemon, and you can just like look at them like this and do photo mode and things like that. And if you do that a couple of times, it'll count towards your Mable score. You'll get some rank ups. But the important thing is you can kill some time here, wait until nightfall, and if it's nighttime, you can do this and wait till daytime. So if you quickly want to do the ZA Royale, you can just switch it to night. If you're trying to hunt some Pokemon during the daytime, switch it back to day. Super easy and very convenient. Make sure to do your side quests in Legends ZA because they actually give pretty great rewards. You can go to the map and you can sort between main missions and side missions, and it'll show you all the ones that you have available, the ones you have completed, and they're all going to be these blue exclamation points on the map. Now, some of these are going to be really good in terms of rewards, and some of these will give you Pokemon. So like the Feisty Chespin gives you a Chespin. Get Well Finnegan gives you a Finnegan. And a challenge from Froakie gives you a Froakie. So you will be able to get the Kalos starters early from these quests, which is going to be pretty phenomenal. But also, just the general money, the items, the Pokeballs you get are going to be great. And most of these are easy, whether it's just battling Pokemon, catching a certain Pokemon and showing them, or just going from point A to point B to do a little fetch quest. They're super easy. They don't take a lot of time. Legends ZA is full of destroyable objects in the world. However, you have to use the right Pokemon move to destroy them. So if you see these pieces of sludge, you actually want to use a water type move. Doesn't need to be a water type Pokemon, but a water type move to remove the sludge. And this will allow you to access certain areas you couldn't access before, just like all the other places. You can see we got ourselves an alpha Garbodor, which I am leaving right now from. Fighting type moves will be able to destroy rocks. It doesn't have to be Rock Smash. Something like Brick Break, Close Combat will be able to do the same thing. You know, the only unfortunate thing is you have to wait for the cooldown to come back if you have a lot of these, but it's usually not too bad. If you see Silk over the roof, you can use a fire move to destroy the Silk. And this will make it so you can actually walk over and make a bridge. Now, to remove Bramble, you can use a fire move from any Pokemon and just target it, hit a move like Fire Spin to remove it, and that's how you get rid of that obstacle. You have ice structures that you can break down by using fire moves. If Charizard can get over there, he just flies over. It makes us a nice little bridge, so there you go. Now, fighting alpha Pokemon may be hard, but they do have a chance of dropping really good items, and if you can defeat one, you may get some Mastery Seeds, which are really important and vital to the late game and the harder parts of the game where you want to get your moves mastered. So we'll try to capture this Alpha Kakuna's a rather easy one, and we got some experience candies, but sometimes when you do an alpha fight, you will be able to get Mastery Seeds. And now Mastery Seeds are very important. They allow you to master moves that your Pokemon can't normally master, turning them into plus moves, which makes them do more damage. If you didn't know, you can actually see your Pokemon's EVs in the box menu by using the right stick. If you flick down on the right stick, you can actually see your current EV spread on the Pokemon. You can see that my Charizard has a lot of attack investment, some special attack investment, and the rest in speed. But also, alpha Pokemon usually have a stat that is perfect. I just got this alpha Dratini, and my HP stat is perfect. I've never used this Pokemon before, but it came with one maxed out stat. And you know it's maxed out because you have that sparkling effect. Alpha Pokemon will also come with plus moves that are not naturally learned, which is really cool. So you might get some neat TMs on alpha Pokemon. So it's always worth catching alphas, not just for the items they give, but they also are going to be great Pokemon in general. And if you didn't know, you can see the different natures. A plus up means on defense, I have higher defense, and a minus the blue arrow means my speed's going to be lower than natural. So some of these natures are going to be, you know, more optimal than others, and you can change your natures with mint items that you'll get in the mid and late game. The last thing I want to talk about is shiny Pokemon. So shiny Pokemon do have an audio cue and a visual effect. I caught a shiny Pidgey in the beginning of the game, and that is the exact animation and sound I heard when the Pidgey spawned. Now, the cool thing is they also are sparkling, so you have a whole sparkle effect that lasts as well, and it persists until you eventually catch it, and it's super easy to notice. Now, the game will automatically save after you catch a shiny Pokemon as well, so you don't have to worry about losing your data there. And when my experience, the shiny Pidgey was up on a rooftop, like in between two roofs, and I was able to catch it just by finding the ladder to go up the building and catching it. And I was worried it was going to despawn, but it actually didn't despawn. So it seems like the Pokemon will stay there until you hit like a day or nighttime shift where it does reset the map. Or there you have it, guys. Those are some tips and tricks that are going to help you on your first journey in the world of Legends ZA. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any tips you want to share with the fellow viewers and commenters out there. This is a really awesome game, and I've been loving it, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I have. Of course, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, and have a good one.